What's going on, everybody? This is Wrecked, and I'm coming at you with another video, and today it's a very different video. I never thought I'd actually be doing this, just because the topic at hand, being a content creator myself, I was always nervous to do something like this, just for the sheer fact that I never wanted to offend anyone, hurt anybody's feelings, or make them feel less than. And don't get me wrong, that is not the intention of this video whatsoever. I have been watching retro content creators for years, literally years, at least a decade at this point. And I'm the tier list guy. I was a streamer on Twitch for a few years, probably about 3 years. And before my podcast, the Retro Renegade podcast, was the Retro Renegade podcast, it was the top tier podcast, where I would do tier lists on a regular basis from anything video game related, from consoles and, console exclusives, accessories. And I would also do movies, actors, actresses, even food items. I love tier lists. I love channels like Watch Mojo. I like top 10 and top 20 countdowns. Hell, I've even watched top 100 countdowns of Super Mario games. It took me like hours to watch. So this is definitely something I've always been into. I know I'm a weirdo. I just love countdowns and ranking lists, and that's just always been my thing. And my favorite form of content to consume is retro creators on YouTube and across other platforms. And I watch a lot of them, you guys. I watch a lot of people. And if they made the list, I enjoyed their content to some capacity at some point in the years I have been watching retro video game content. And I wanted to put them on the list, and I wanted to go over what I thought of their channels, what I would give them as a rank, and see what you guys think. Now, full disclaimer here. If they made the list, I liked them. Again, to some capacity, I enjoyed either some of their videos or most of their content. Some, creators on this list I've watched more than others. Some I am just getting into, but I'm really enjoying. And some of these people I've met in person at conventions or expos, or I've had conversations with them in DMs. And even some of these creators I could, potentially be working on collaborations in the future. So I'm just going to be honest and transparent on my ranking system here. I don't want anybody to think I'm playing favorites, but it is my list, so I'll kind of, do it as I see fit. I will basically kind of grade them or critique them based on a number of things. One of those things being, how is their quality of their videos, their editing, their overall content and subject matter, and them as a person, or what I perceive them to be as a person, and how entertaining they are, and overall how much I enjoy watching the overall product. And again, guys, some people I watch more than others, and we're gonna get right into it, and let's jump on over to the tier list and start ranking some YouTube creators here. All right, guys, so we're over here on the tier list. We have a total of 50 creators or channels to get through. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous making this list, and I've been wanting to do it for a while. And months ago, when I talked about doing a tier list like this with my friends, some of my friends were kind of, maybe not really keen to the idea of me doing a tier list about fellow content creators in the retro space. Just because they thought, maybe it would rub somebody the wrong way. Now, there is no intention of doing that in this video. I obviously have you on this list because I enjoy the content. And I just wanted to give my opinion on who some of my favorite creators and channels are. And yeah, let's jump right into it. Again, all my opinion, but I want you guys to leave down in the comments if I've missed anybody and who some of your favorite creators are. But without further ado, let's jump into it. This is very casual. There is no structure or rhyme or reason or any particular order. But as you can see here, we have the different rankings. We have Legend at the top. That is my favorite of favorites. Then we have S, which is obviously super high ranking. A is really good. B is still really good. C is like, okay, average. D is, you know, I watch you once in a while, but I don't go out of my way to like watch every video you release. And then if I don't know enough about your channel, or I don't feel like I've watched you recently or watched you enough, I'm going to put you in the no opinion category. But let's jump right into it. Again, no particular order. First up, we have 8-Bit Eric. So we're going to just stick him up here for right now. We are going to talk about 8-Bit Eric. Eric has been around the space for a long time. Very chill guy, very chill channel. Enjoy his stuff. I love listening to what he has to say. I think he's a solid dude, solid creator. Pretty basic production. Most of the time from what I've seen, he's just, you know, sitting in front of a camera like me and talking about, you know, stuff going on in retro. And for me, Eric is a solid B. So we're going to put Eric in the B. Okay, so next up we have the 1980s Gamer. So this guy I found on TikTok. He does a lot of stuff over on YouTube Shorts and videos. I love his funny skits that he does with his different aliases, different characters that he's created. I think he's pretty funny. I think he makes really good content. And I watch a lot of his stuff. I never skip over a short or, you know, a TikTok or whatever. I really enjoy his stuff. I think 1980s Gamer definitely belongs in a B. Next up, we are going to talk about one of my all-time favorites, Adam Koralik. Now, I've been watching Adam for years. Adam is one of my favorite creators of all time. I have learned a lot from Adam. I have been watching his stuff for a long time, and I think he makes great content. His channel is very basic as far as production value goes. It's literally Adam at a table talking to you and educating you on retro video games. And I first found him years ago watching his different generational video game series where he goes over a generation of games and every console within that generation and breaks it down to you. And he's more like the raunchier version of like maybe the gaming historian, right? This guy is literally a walking encyclopedia for retro games. And he, in my opinion, he's been around so freaking long. He belongs on like the Mount Rushmore of retro video games. He belongs in like the founding fathers list of retro video game creators. So for me, Adam is a legend. One of my favorite channels, no question about it. I met Adam for the first time at Sat Gamers Expo. Such a nice guy, very, very cool. He literally, like, I was like kind of like starstruck meeting him, guys. I don't watch a lot of TV, all right? I don't watch very much at all, but these YouTube creators are like my TV. These are my celebrities. These are the people that I enjoy watching and consuming as entertainment. And I went to Sat Gamers Expo and I walked up to him to meet him because he was a guest, and I was just so nervous around him. And he was almost like flattered, but he was like, dude, you don't have to be nervous around me. I'm just a normal guy. And he like took me around the convention with him. He took me around to the gaming museum and just hung out with me just like we were buddies. And I just thought it was so freaking cool. And it was a memory I won't forget. Joined his Discord. I've had conversations with him. Super nice guy. Definitely in my book, a legend. So next up, we have the Arkansas Picker. Now, I came across the Arkansas Picker through Retro Rick's channel, and I really like him. I think he's a nice guy. I think he's funny. He does a lot of reselling. That's a topic for a whole nother video. I don't have anything against reselling. I absolutely freaking hate scalpers, but I think that there is a very distinct difference between scalpers and resellers. If you sell retro stuff in any capacity, you're a reseller. Whether you do it a lot or a little, you know, it's just the way that it is in today's market. Back in the day, you would get castrated for something like that. But in today's market, a lot of people resell. So I really don't care about that. So Arkansas Picker, I think he's a newer channel, if I'm not mistaken. I've watched some of his videos. I see a lot of his stuff in other people's videos. He seems to always kind of be around in like Retro Rick videos from time to time, and other people as well. I think he's a solid creator. But for me personally, I'm going to go ahead and put him in the C category. He's just, you know, he's average for me. I don't skip over his videos. I'll watch them if they come on, and I enjoy his stuff. All right, next up, we are going to talk about Cinemassacre, Angry Video Game Nerd. This guy is a legend. He is a legend. Just like Adam Koralik, this guy has been around for a very long time. He's been around longer than Adam. He is absolutely amazing. Great production value. Awesome insights. His persona as the angry video game nerd is just classic. Everybody knows who this guy is. Everybody loves and respects this guy, and he is an absolute legend, and that's where he belongs, right here in the legend category. One of his videos that stick out most in my mind was one of my favorite games of all time is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, and he ripped that game apart. And as much as it hurt my soul that he did that to one of my favorite games, he did it in a way that was not only funny and respectful, but he did highlight a lot of the good points of the game as well. But the gripes that he had with the game, now that I'm thinking about it, it just all made sense, and I totally get where he was coming from. And even though it's my favorite, one of my favorite games, I still respected everything that he said. And I just, when he talks, I listen. And love his channel, love the guy. Awesome creator. It'd be a dream to meet him one day. Next up, we are going to talk about Bob Wolf. Now, Bob Wolf does modern stuff, retro stuff. He's a big Mario fan, or Mario, depending on, you know, if you ask him or not. But he's awesome. He does the Nintendo podcast now with Wood Hawker from the Beat 'em Ups channel. Absolutely love Bob. He has got the I don't give a shit kind of mentality. He's really chill. He's really into emulation. And I got a lot of respect for Bob. For Bob, I definitely will give him a solid B. Next up, we have a controversial one on the list. We have Caleb, who goes by Phoenix Resale or Renix P-Sale, which is his secondary channel. Now, Caleb gets a lot of crap for being a big reseller. Like, this guy, that is his job. His full-time job is to buy and sell and trade video games across Amazon and eBay and whatnot and everything. And a lot of people give him crap that, oh, he's a fake gamer, he doesn't know a lot about video games. Video games have been around for literally decades at this point, right? Since like the 60s and 70s. And for someone to have knowledge of everything, you know, I don't think that necessarily makes you a gamer or not. I mean, if you have knowledge about the things that you love and the things that you enjoy, but you don't know everything, that doesn't take away from the fact that you're a gamer. And a lot of people say, well, he's a fake gamer, and, you know, he really doesn't care about the community and he's ruining the market with his reselling. I disagree. Caleb, in all of his videos that I've been watching, and I've been watching him for a few years now, he's very transparent, very honest about what he's doing, and he seems like a super nice and friendly guy. What I've noticed also with Caleb is that he tends to sell things at market value based on what price charting goes for, which is totally okay to me. If you pick something up for $10 and it sells for $40 or $50 because it's what it's going for on price charting, I don't fault you for that, especially with how expensive the video game market is now. I literally watched his entire GameCube Gambit series from start to finish. It was like 7 hours of videos, but enjoyed every second of it, and got a lot of respect for him. And he's a very smart guy, seems like a nice guy. Caleb, for me though, is a solid B. I know we got a lot of B's so far, you guys, but you know, we'll keep going, and we'll see where this list ends up. Next up, we have Chase from Chase After the Right Price, reseller. His video games his videos are very long. He is a collector, but he has a full-blown business and like warehouse type situation where he buys and sells video games. For me, I don't watch a whole lot of his videos. His videos are okay. I don't have an issue with Chase at all, but overall for me, he's definitely in the C tier. Next up, we have Destiny FOMO. So Destiny is a collector. She does modern, she does retro. I think she's entertaining. I think her production value is very high. And in my personal opinion, you guys, and a lot of gatekeeping dickheads will disagree, but I think we need more female creators in the space. I love to frickin' see it. Me and my wife, we game together on a regular basis, and I love getting to share that with her. And I have a daughter who is, almost 3 years old, who I already am getting into video games and watching old VHS cartoons with me. And I just love it. I love getting to see it because women in gaming get so much crap, and they always have, and I never understood that. I want everybody to play games, everybody to enjoy them. I love sharing those things with my wife, and I think Destiny makes some pretty solid content, and I think, again, her production value is very high and her videos look good. And so for me, I haven't seen a whole lot of her videos, but from what I have seen and watching her on the Mr. RightWay podcast, she seems like a really nice person and definitely worth watching. And again, guys, we need more females in the space. And instead of being dicks and pushing them out like girls don't belong here, come on, it's 2023. Get it the fuck together. Like, yeah, everybody belongs here. So I give her a solid B. Next up, one of my favorite channels is Sick Cooper over at the Double Jump Video Games channel. And again, congratulations, guys, on just hitting 100K subs. Well deserved. Cooper has one of the most incredible, amazing video game collections I've ever seen in my freaking life. It is mind-blowing. Their videos and skits on TikTok, where I first discovered him, are hilarious. He owns a game store up north in I want to say it's Washington, and absolutely great channel. I love getting to see the inner workings of a game store. I love to see his relationship with his employees. It's just a lot of fun, very knowledgeable. You learn a lot. You get to see what it's like to own a game store, and like I said, his collection is mind-blowing, and he's just a likable guy. He just seems like the kind of guy you want to hang out and play video games and have a beer with. And for that, I give the Double Jump channel a solid A. All right, next up, another channel I've been watching for a very long time. You have Mr. Matty Plays, who also runs the Retro Rebound channel, where they talk about all things retro. Matty I've been watching for years. We share a lot of the same interests as far as games like, Dragon Age or the Elder Scrolls series, and just Bethesda games in general, or BioWare games, a lot of like Western action RPGs. Love Matty, great channel, solid guy. His production value is, again, it's a lot of these channels are basic, like they're sitting in front of a camera and they're talking about things that they love, and they have gameplay footage that they incorporate into their videos. And to me, that doesn't take away from my entertainment value. I don't need a bunch of fancy bells and whistles to enjoy it. Yes, good editing is great, but I don't determine that to be like the end all be all on whether a channel is good or not. For me, I think that his opinions a lot of the times are very spot on, and I love what he talks about and what he stands for in gaming. So for me, Mr. Matty Plays is a solid A. All right, next up, we have some more legends in the space. We have the Game Chasers. The Game Chasers have been around for a very long time. They were at SAT Gamers Expo a few years ago when I met Adam Korlick and John Riggs, and the Pixel Game Squad was there. I'm gonna be honest, guys. You're gonna crucify me in the comments. I haven't watched a lot of the Game Chasers. Nothing against them. There's nothing wrong with their channel. I just haven't watched a lot of their stuff, and I really don't know why, because I watch a lot of retro content. I do a lot of commuting for work. So what I like to do is driving 200 miles a day round trip. I like to put a lot of these channels on daily and just listen to what they have to say. So that's how I'm able to watch so much of this stuff. And I'm going to start getting more and more into the Game Chasers. But I honestly haven't watched enough of their stuff to give an opinion. I know that they're like legends in the space. I know they've been around a long time, and I totally respect that. And from what I have seen, it seems great. They have kind of like the American Pickers kind of style of hunting for games. And, it makes me want to watch more. But again, guys, I can only watch so much at a time. So for now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to put them in the no opinion category, because I don't want to just throw them in a grade when I haven't watched enough of them, and I don't think that that's fair to them. All right, so next up, we have one of my personal favorite channels, and a channel I've just discovered not that long ago. We have GameCube Galaxy, our buddy Marcello. This gentleman is a gem. He really is. I love getting to see like where retro started on YouTube and where it is going, you know, with the OGs in the space, but then you have the newer channels that have been around either less than a year, or just only a couple years. And it's great to see that transition of, you know, watching the OGs like Angry Video Game Nerd, and you know, how the hobby is being kept alive by the newer channels. And Marcello is a gem. His channel is amazing. I go to him for all of my GameCube information, and he's such a nice guy. And we may or may not be working on a collaboration in the future. Call me biased, but I love the guy. Channel is amazing. And for me personally, again, this is my list, my opinion. I think this man needs way more subs than he has, and he deserves it. And for me, Marcello is an S. He's an S. I love his videos. They're super entertaining, super informative, and he's just a nice ass guy. Seriously, go check him out. All right, next up we have the Game Dad, and I met Game Dad over at the Sat Gamers Expo, and he is friends with John Riggs and the guys over at the Metal Jesus Squad. Super nice guy. He's local to me, very friendly, makes really good content, very informative. Really enjoy his stuff. Haven't watched like a super ton of it because I only met him recently and discovered his channel, but definitely worth checking out. For me, the Game Dad is going to be a solid C. Okay, so next up, how I was saying earlier, we need more females in the space. We have Gamer Aimer, who Brandy is an absolute gem. I know that she has one of the greatest video game collections in the country. You guys, just to watch her channel for that alone is worth it, because it is mind-blowing. It'll make you so jealous and so nostalgic. She has everything. Like, I need to do a video covering the greatest game rooms on YouTube, because she would be at the top of that list. But not only that, she's genuine, and she's super friendly, super kind, and I like the topics that she brings up that a lot of people don't talk about, and it's just very entertaining and it's very engaging. Her production value is pretty average. I mean, it's her sitting in front of a camera in her awesome game room and talking about whatever the hell she wants to talk about, and you know, and what she thinks about what's going on in the retro space. And absolutely have a lot of respect for her. Great channel. We need more people like her in the space, more genuine, wholesome, awesome people. For me, Brandy is a solid A. Okay, so next up we have another amazing creator that we all know and love. How could we not? We have the Gaming Historian. I love his channels. If you want to just sit there and listen and be educated on all things video games, this is the channel for you. He is the guy for you. I love his stuff. I have learned so much. He is like a more like high production value, you know, informational, educational channel, kind of like Adam Koralik. For me, no doubt in my mind that this gentleman here deserves to be in the legend category. Absolutely fantastic. Go check out the Gaming Historian. You will learn a lot. Okay, next up we have Gaming Off the Grid. If I'm not mistaken, they're a fairly newer channel. I do watch a good chunk of their stuff. I came across them in a convention or expo video from another creator, and I started watching their stuff, and they have an amazing collection. They like to drink beer, so there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that I love their two-person team, like kind of podcasty art style. I really, you know, really appreciate that. I really enjoy it when it's just not people talking over webcams to each other like how I do, because unfortunately all my friends don't live in the area. I love how they just sit in a room and chop it up about video games and give their honest assessment and opinions on the space. Absolutely enjoy their channel. I think Gaming Off the Grid is definitely going to go somewhere. I think that they are fantastic and likable guys at the end of the day. So for me, anytime their videos come on, I sit and I watch them and I listen in on my commutes to work. They are a solid B. Next up, we have Gaming the Systems. Gaming the Systems is kind of a mixed one for me because I think he has an amazing collection. He has like every console you could ever imagine in his game room, consoles that I had never even heard of. And he's very tech savvy, very smart, very well spoken, but he's very monotone. He's very, very like very chill, but kind of speaks in more of like a very formal, kind of robotic kind of way to a sense. But I do love listening in on his stuff. It's almost like very sarcastic, dry humor when it is in his videos. But for me, I enjoy his stuff, but it's not something I completely go out of my way to watch. But when he does post new videos, I do sit and listen in and watch. I do think he's a very nice gentleman. I think that his production value is pretty basic. It's him in front of a camera with some B-roll or gameplay footage. For me, Gaming the Systems is a solid C. Next up, we have one of my favorite channels. Absolutely love this guy. We have Happy Console Gamer. This gentleman is a legend. He's been in the space a very long time, and man, he is just entertaining. Absolutely love listening into him. He is a lot of fun. I love his countdown lists because, again, I'm a huge nerd and love tier lists and countdowns, and I just love his take on stuff. And when he speaks, you just listen because he's so wholesome and personable, and he's just a good time. Very entertaining. Deserves, without a doubt in my mind, to be up here alongside guys like Angry Video Game Nerd. He is a legend, in my opinion. He has been around a long time and deserves all the recognition. Awesome channel. Next up, we've got the immortal himself, Mr. John Hancock, the professor of retro. So John Hancock is part of the Metal Jesus squad. He is a super nice guy. Absolutely love his videos, love getting to learn about everything in his collection. He has a mind-blowing collection. Now John he's been around a long time now at this point. His production value is just him sitting in front of a camera with, again, gameplay footage and just literally breaking down what he thinks of whatever the current topic may be, whether it's what consoles to collect for, his favorite games on certain consoles or from certain generations. And he just seems like a really sweet, nice guy. Definitely someone I would love to get to meet and hang out with someday. He's obviously, well respected in the community, and I think he's a solid A channel. I think that John is great. Next up, we have one of my personal favorites. We have John Riggs, another member of the Metal Jesus squad. He is such a nice guy. Met him a few years back, hung out with him twice now at the Sat Gamers Expo. John, you're awesome, dude. Love your channel. I think it's kind of universal that everybody loves John. John sits in front of a camera and talks to you about video games, and he loves making countdowns or tier lists. And I love his open cart surgery videos that he does, where he takes a beat up video game that doesn't work and he makes it work. And he's awesome, man. Such a nice guy. How do you not like John? He loves cereal. He collects cereal, which is very unique. I've never met anybody who's really into that. I know, you'd get those dads out there that are really into sports that used to collect like the Wheaties boxes with all the different athletes on the covers. But John is definitely a unique individual, super awesome. I believe he works in radio and stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken. And he definitely is just an awesome dude. Can't wait to hang out with him again in the future. And you owe me that beer, John. I won't forget that comment, man. We're gonna have one together one day. But love your channel, dude. One of my personal favorites. I watch all his videos and I've learned a lot from him. He's a solid S for me. Next up, we have JRPG Life. I love channels like this. I love when couples, husbands and wives, or siblings, or, you know, I love duo channels. I think that they're fun. I have a lot of respect for them. Their collection, their game room is amazing. It is breathtaking. I think a lot of that has to do with how clean and organized and well curated it is. They obviously, in their name, they are huge into RPGs, and I am into RPGs as well. So I love all of their content. I love their hunting videos. I love all of their stuff that they do over on their channel. I love the connection that they have as husband and wife, and they share their passion together. It reminds me of me and my wife, and it just makes me happy to watch their channel. And I think that they're definitely a really great up and coming channel. A lot of love and respect for these individuals. I am going to give them a solid B. This next one is Lady Destiny. Don't know much about her, but I'm going to have to put her in the no opinion category as of right now. I've seen a little bit of her stuff. I saw her video that she did after RGT's video, the problem in the retro gaming space or whatever. Still, I don't feel like it's fair for me to give an assessment on her channel when I haven't watched enough of it. So moving on, next up we have another gem of a channel if you haven't heard of, Mad Little Pixel. Mad Little Pixel's awesome. He is, an OG in the space. He's been around for a while. He sits in front of his camera and talks about current events and retro stuff and emulation, and he does a lot of reviews on emulation hardware. He does a lot of current event stories, like the scalping of Metroid Prime Remaster when it came out, or he was the one who covered the WATA games grading the repros of the Rondo of Blood from PCE Works, who did the PC Engine repros. He covered that story. Really awesome channel, really enjoy his stuff. I'm going to give Mad Little Pixel a solid B. Next up, we have my buddy Manny from SoCal. He runs the Manny's Arcade channel. Awesome channel. Love his stuff. The guy definitely deserves way more views and recognition than he gets. His videos are just as good as anybody else's, and I have a lot of respect for him, and me and him talk on a regular basis now. Would love to do a collab with him in the future. I think he's awesome. I enjoy all of his stuff. I watch all his videos and support the hell out of him. I think he's a great dude, and I think he deserves more than what he has. Definitely going to give him a B. He does a lot of hunting videos where he goes out to swap meets and flea markets and stuff like that, and he goes to different I don't know what you would call them, but where retro gamers get together and they sell stuff. It's not like a full-on convention, it's like a smaller version of that. I don't really know what it's called, but yeah, he does a lot of stuff like that. I think Manny is awesome. Go check out his channel. Next up, we have a legend, the first retro channel I ever watched over a decade ago, Metal Jesus. Oh God, dude, I if it wasn't for Metal Jesus and his channel, I don't know if I would have ever started watching retro creators to begin with. Like I said, been watching him for well over a decade now, and everything that has come from his channel, all of the creators that are part of his team, man, he just makes really good stuff, and he's such a nice guy. Such a nice guy. Jason is amazing. I would love, it is a dream to meet this gentleman at a convention one day, or whatever, but I think he is one of the greatest there is in retro gaming. I don't think he gets as much love as Angry Video Game Nerd or Gaming Historian, but he deserves to be up there with them. And if it wasn't for Jason, I would not be the collector and as knowledgeable as I am today. And I just have a lot of love and respect for him and his channel and what he's done, and I've learned a lot from him. Very, very good production value. I love that he collects big box PC, because guys, I'm a big PC gamer and have been since the 90s, playing on AOL dial-up internet, playing on, you know, floppy disks, playing the old Diablo was my first game I ever played in 96 or 97 when I was a kid growing up. And I just grew up loving PC games, and just getting to see all of the old PC games in box and all of the old, you know, working PCs that he uses to play these games is so freaking cool. Love his channel. He's a legend. He deserves to be up here without a shadow of a doubt. Okay, so next up, we've got a newer channel. He just had his 1-year channel birthday recently. We have Mort from Morts Garage. Where do I start with Mort? I think that, you know, quote me if you'd like. I think that Mort one day, and I pray that he sticks with this, will be up here on the Legends list with Angry Video Game Nerd and Metal Jesus, Happy Console Gamer, Adam Korlick. Just, his channel is a gem. It really is. I am so happy I found his channel. I found him through Retro Rick when Retro Rick did a game room tour of his garage. Like in his name, Morts Garage, his game room is his garage, and he has one of the most incredible collections ever. His N64 collection is mind-blowing. He's a family man. He has 3 daughters, and you know, being a girl dad myself, I watched his most recent video that he did with his kids, and it just touched me like tremendously, because I do the same things with my family. And he's so well spoken. The best way I can describe Mort, if I were to compare him to any other channels, he's like the gaming historian meets Happy Console Gamer. He's knowledgeable, he's fair and honest and genuine and wholesome, and he's such a good writer too. The things that he writes in his videos are just spine chilling. Like, they really are. It's like, ooh, it gives you chills because it's really freaking good stuff. He did the I Was Afraid video where it was his younger self talking to his older self, and no spoilers, I want you to go watch it. But it made me emotional because it made me look back on my life and what it was like to be a nerd, and where I am now with my beautiful wife and my 2 amazing kids. I love his channel. Mort, if you watch this, fucking love your channel, man. It's good, and I hope we could do something together in the future, because I have nothing but love and respect for you, and you are an awesome channel, and I can't wait for you to hit 100,000 subscribers. You're gonna be on that Legends list one day, dude. For me personally, Mort is a solid S. Next up, we've got Mr. RightWay. So I came across Mr. RightWay a few months ago when I was starting out doing the DK Oldies videos, because he made a video where he was recommending alternatives to DK Oldies like the Game Room, which I did a video on, or E-Starland and others. And I started watching his stuff, and I find him very entertaining. I like Steve. I think he's a super nice guy. We've had conversations in DMs. And I think that doing a collab with him in the future would be amazing. I know we've talked about it. So I think that, you know, his game hunting stuff is very informative. He's a big PlayStation guy, a big wrestling fan, a professional photographer. He's got an awesome game room. Really like his channel. Glad I came across and met him. For me personally, Mr. RightWay is definitely a B channel. You know, I know that there's been some controversy around his channel at some points when it came to like Whatnot and things like that. For me personally, guys, just putting it out there, when it comes to Whatnot, I like Whatnot. I've never sold on there, but I have bought on there, and I don't think it's a scam. I don't think it's a ripoff. I don't think it ruins the market. It's a live bidding app where you bid on collectibles and sought after items like video games, toys, and things of that sort. If you don't want to pay the money, then don't bid on the item. It's no different than buying on eBay. It's just live. It is basically the Twitch version of eBay. And I don't have an issue with it. I won my Donkey Kong 64 Jungle Green console complete in the box in a raffle on Whatnot. I've bought a lot of great items for very cheap. A lot of my Japanese imports from Whatnot. I've had no issues with them. Again, I've never sold on there. I don't know if I ever would, because I don't tend to sell things in my collection very often. I usually don't get doubles or duplicates or buy lots of games. So when something's in my collection, it tends to stay here. But you know, he had a lot of you know, stuff going on with Whatnot back in the day. But what creator hasn't had some form of drama or controversy either in the public eye or behind closed doors? You guys, everybody on this list I'm sure has had their fair share of drama either with each other or whatever. But I don't really care about that unless you're a terrible fucking person, right? Like a woman beater or a child abuser. Like, I really don't care, you know, unless you do me wrong. You know, I came from Twitch, you guys. I was a streamer on there for years. I've been on and off on Twitch since 2013, and I have been done wrong by my fair share of people that I thought were my friends. And you know, so for my whole mentality or philosophy on it is if other creators want to do you dirty, or you don't agree with their practices or what they do, you know, then move on. But unless you've done me wrong, or unless you are genuinely a horrible person and that comes to light in the public eye, I don't have an issue with you. But yeah, Mr. RightWay, solid B. Next up, we've got My Retro Life, one of the greatest channels on YouTube. I know that the Pixel Game Squad agrees. I know Riff agrees. It's one of his favorite channels as well. I've been watching him for a while. His channel is the only one that's made me cry. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I will openly admit that his videos with his dad are beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. There's nothing like it on YouTube. His dad filmed his entire life with a camcorder, like a lot of families did. A lot of grandpas and dads and moms did that stuff, you know, back in the 80s and 90s. And watching his love for video games through his father's eyes is just fucking beautiful. It makes me want to get emotional now, because now, you know, he shares that with his own daughter, which is what I'm doing with my kid. So I've never seen anything like it. Like, just literally Christmases and birthdays all caught on camera, video game footage caught on old camcorders. And it was just, you know, hearing the love and respect he has for his dad and the memories that they shared. It's damn good channel, guys. You have to watch it. I think My Retro Life is a solid S channel for sure. Please go check him out. Very, very good stuff. Next up, we've got our buddy, the NES Addict. Absolutely love this guy. Great channel. Super, super nice dude. He has one of the coolest game rooms I've ever seen. He literally took his walk-in closet. You know, hats off to his wife for giving up the walk-in closet, because I know my wife didn't. First thing we did when we bought our house was, I get that entire closet. You can have the guest room closet. But she let him have that as his entire game room, and he has utilized that space very, very well. Super nice guy. We've had multiple conversations. I would love to do a collab with him one day. I think he's absolutely awesome. Love his knowledge on video games and his passion, and he just has some of the coolest things in his collection. He's just an all-around great guy, and definitely think you should check out his content across multiple platforms. I think it's well worth it. I think he's a solid dude, and that makes him a solid B for me personally. Next up, we have the NES Complex. I came across him through the Pixel Game Squad a while back, and I haven't watched enough of his individual videos, if I'm being honest, you guys. I've mainly seen him in older Pixel Game Squad videos, but he seems like a super nice, friendly guy. He's very smart, very knowledgeable, well known and respected in the community. But again, I can't give a fair assessment of his standalone channel until I've watched more, and I will eventually get to that, guys. But like I said, there's 50 creators on this list, and I can only watch so much. Even though I watch a lot, I will eventually get to him, but for now, we're going to put him in the no opinion, and we're going to get to him eventually. All right, next up, we've got Nintendrew. So Nintendrew, the whole reason I bought my Mario suit that you've seen in pictures and videos of me at conventions and expos is because of Nintendrew. Years ago, I saw him wearing a Mario suit, and I was like, I want it, and I bought it. Excuse me. Nintendrew has a great collection. It's well curated, well themed. He makes really great content. Super nice, friendly guy. I don't watch a lot of his stuff, but I have seen a decent amount. For me personally though, like compared to other creators, like I don't watch him as much as maybe I should, but for me personally, I'm gonna put him in the C category. I don't think for me personally he's on the same level as the rest of the creators in the B category. I know a lot of people, you might disagree with me, and it's not because I think his channel is lacking. It's because from what I have seen, I don't continuously watch him as much as these other channels. And that's kind of how I do my tier lists, where, you know, I look at the other creators in that list and do I think that they're on par? Like, do I watch them or do I play that game or watch that movie as much as the others in the above ranking? And if not, you know, I usually put them below. Next up, I'm gonna butcher her name, please forgive me, but Orabology or Oralology. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the channel's name, but I just came across this channel maybe a month or so ago, and I had to put her on this list because I absolutely adore her channel. I adore her. She is so nice and so sweet and so knowledgeable, and her collection rocks. And she's one of those channels where she can just get in front of a camera and talk, and you just want to listen to her talk and learn something. And I think she is a great newer channel that is up and coming. She is doing really well right now. And if you like stuff like RPGs and 3DS stuff and Switch stuff and, you know, retro games, definitely worth checking her out. And guys, just letting you know, I'm going to leave links. I know it's going to be a lot of links to all of these channels down below, so that way you can go through and click on them yourself and go check them out for yourself, because I think that you should. So I'm going to put her in a solid C for now. I think that I'm very excited to watch where her channel goes from here, and see how it improves and to see how she grows from here. But she is a fairly new channel, and I want to see what she does in the future. Next up, we have PacMan Case. Really like this guy, super friendly, super funny, just the kind of dude you want to hang out with. I think he makes good content. I haven't watched a super ton of his stuff yet, but from what I have seen, it's pretty good, but I can't give a fair assessment of his channel, so we're going to put no opinion for right now. Let me know down in the comments if you enjoy his stuff. But from what I have seen in other people's videos, like Retro Wolf's videos and stuff, and podcasts that he's been on, I think he's a great guy, and I'm going to start watching his stuff. I came across him through other channels, and I just haven't gotten around to watching enough of his stuff yet. All right, next up, we have a controversial figure in the retro space, but that's why I love him. Pat the NES Punk. Now, Pat Contri has been around for a very long time. He's been around, like, you know, Metal Jesus, Happy Console Gamer, Angry Video Game Nerd, Adam Korlick. He is an OG in the space, and a lot of people give Pat shit because he is controversial. Now, let me tell you something. My channel can be considered controversial because I shit on DK oldies and gatekeepers and scalpers all the time, and I don't give a fuck at all. Zero fucks given, because what I have learned is that the retro gaming space is not all sunshine and rainbows and happiness and good times. There is drama, there is controversy, there are fucking scumbags in the space, and Pat calls them out, and people don't like that. It rubs people the wrong way, and I don't understand why. I don't know why everybody, and they do this shit on Twitch, it drives me nuts, where everybody wants to hold hands and sing Kumbaya and act like everything's fucking okay all the time, and they don't want to talk about the bullshit that goes on in the community. And look, if that's not for you and that's not your channel, that's fine, but don't shit on the others that do call out the bullshit. Don't sweep it under the rug. Pat and Ian over at the CU podcast are awesome, and you can't forget about Frank, right? I love Pat's videos. I've been watching him for years. I love his Pat the NES Punk character videos. I love his Flea Market Madness videos. I love his CU podcast, and unfortunately, the Pat the NES Punk character is coming to an end. He's moving on to bigger and better things, according to him in his more recent videos. His CU podcast is no longer a regular episodic thing. It is going to be a once a month or bi-monthly kind of specials kind of thing that he's doing with Ian. And Flea Market Madness is over, and it makes me sad because Yeah, a lot of the newer channels do the retro game hunting stuff, but people forget guys like Pat and the Game Chasers kind of started that. Flea Market Madness has been around for fucking years, and a lot of people don't talk about it. And he's an awesome guy. I met him also at Sat Gamers Expo. I bought both of his books. I will be buying the Nintendo 64 Ultimate Guidebook, and I hope he signs that one as well. But he's one of the channels that I take most inspiration from. He is just, in my opinion, a badass, and a lot of people don't like that, he gets into it with other people. But you know what? His assessment on the Coleco Chameleon, his assessment on the Intellivision Amico, and how scummy Tommy Tellerico is spot on. And I love when he calls out bullshit when he sees it, but he also talks about a lot of awesome stuff. He has a lot of great things in his collection, and he is a no bullshit kind of guy. Now, do I agree with everything that Pat says? No, but I don't agree with everything that anybody says. We all have our own opinions. That's what makes us human. But I have a lot of respect for him, and for me, Pat is a legend. People might disagree with that, but that's okay. Again, this is my opinion. Let me know down in the comments how I'm doing so far, you guys. We've gone through a big chunk of this list so far, a lot faster than I thought, but I didn't want to drag this on. There were certain creators I want to talk about more than others. So next up, we have the Pixel Game Squad. So what I will say about the Pixel Game Squad, without fanboying the fuck out right now, is I absolutely love the members of the squad and what they're doing over there, and I have nothing but respect for every single member, and they are probably my favorite channel on YouTube right now, above everybody else. It's crazy how much they have really just got me drawn into their stuff. I'm like fumbling over my words because I want to articulate this the right way. The Pixel Game Squad makes me feel so nostalgic for like growing up with my friends and the good memories that I had with my friends and video games. And they are wholesome and genuine and honest and just all around good people. I've had the pleasure of meeting Gabbo, who is one of my favorites in the community. He is such an awesome person. And I have had conversations with Ricky and with Mikey, and Riff they've all come into my live streams. They comment on my stuff. They talk to me like I'm an equal to them, like I'm a peer, not just like some fucking, fan or viewer. They're just normal, down-to-earth guys. I watch every single one of their videos on their main channel and on Pixel Plus. I am loving their podcast right now with the CU podcast kind of going on the back burner. I love getting to watch their stuff. And another podcast I enjoy is Morts Garage, Garage Cast. So Mort does his own now as well. And it's very, very good. But Pixel Game Squad, they were my first super chats when I became a YouTube partner. I'll never forget that. That meant the world to me, that they took time out of their day with John Riggs and came into my very first live stream as a YouTube partner, and made me feel like an equal. Absolutely love these guys. Nothing but respect for them. They've invited me down to LA or down to Southern California to go retro hunting with them. Can't wait to do that one day. I've met a lot of awesome channels through them, like NES Complex and NES Addict. I also have to say that Riff is one of the best editors in the space, and he makes everybody's videos better. Just fucking love these guys, man. And for me, they're legends. They're the first new channel to be in the legends category, in my opinion. But yeah, absolutely love the Pixel Game Squad. Next up, we've got another controversial individual. We got Pro Jared. So Pro Jared had controversy surrounding him years ago. I watched the story on it a long time ago, but basically there was some stuff going on in his relationship with either his wife or his girlfriend. I don't remember if they were married or not, but I really don't give a shit about that. Call me bitter, call me cold, but what Pro Jared and his ex had going on between them, that's between them. I really don't give a shit. I just don't. That might sound fucked up, but I don't think it detracts from his content as a retro creator. He's been in the space a long time. I think he makes good stuff. And, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't let that personal stuff, you know, again, unless you're some monstrous like woman beater or child abuser or some awful, awful scumbag, I don't let that really affect whether I watch your channel or not. Everybody on this list, I'm sure, has had their fair share of drama and controversy, like I've said before. And let me point this out. Yes, there was rumors or speculation that he cheated on his wife or girlfriend. But what I will say is that my father always had this saying: there are three sides to every story, son. There is his side, her side, and the truth. And I'm sorry, but if the country can get over the fact that Bill Clinton got his dick sucked in the Oval Office and still praise him as one of the greatest presidents of all time, why are we holding a YouTuber to a lesser standard or to a higher standard? Why are we expecting more out of him? So I just, I don't know, man. I don't let that shit get to me. I don't think he's a terrible human. He was at Sat Gamers Expo back in December. Nice guy. We're going to go ahead and put him in the B category. Next up, we got another one of my favorite individuals. We got Radical Reggie. Radical Reggie is part of the Metal Jesus squad. Awesome guy, great collector, super friendly, just somebody you want to kick it with, dude. And just like, he's super inspirational. The whole Metal Jesus squad has been inspirational to me personally. Because I started watching Jason over a decade ago, like I said. So everybody, I branched out and that's how it happened. I started watching Metal Jesus, and then I was like, oh shit, there's all these awesome creators that are on his team. I want to check out their individual stuff. So Radical Reggie, John Hancock, John Riggs, Kenzie, Kelsey, Drunken Master Paul, like, and then from there I was getting recommendations for guys like Adam Koralik and Pat the NES Punk and the Gaming Historian and Angry Video Game Nerd and Happy Console Gamer. Do you see like how you can go down this rabbit hole? And I've been commuting and doing this construction shit for 14 years. So like I've been listening into these guys for a very long time, and it's just kind of domino affected into like, then we found Retro Rick, and Retro Rick, we found the Pixel Game Squad, and then we found, you know, Mort. And then it's never ending. So I just, everybody's kind of all interconnected, and I have found these guys through other channels. But Reggie is the man, dude. And I give Reggie a solid A. He is so close to 100,000 subscribers. This man freaking deserves it. Get him there. Get him to 100K. Go check him out. Next up, we have Retro Gaming Guy. I recently came across him during all the DK Oldies drama. He's been kind of shitting on DK Oldies like I have been quite a bit. His channel's all right. He seems like a nice enough guy. It's pretty basic. I think there are ways that he could improve. I'm curious to see what other kinds of content he makes besides the DK Oldie stuff. But for me, he's a solid C. I don't go out of my way to watch his stuff, but he's pretty good. Next up, we've got the Retro Gaming Pandemic. Retro Gaming Pandemic. I just had like a brain fart. Sorry. There's a lot of creators to go through, you guys. Really nice guys. I know that I believe it's Jared who does the editing for Rift's channel over the Pixel Game Squad, which is funny having like an editor have his videos edited for him by another editor. Say that 10 times fast. But no, these guys are super nice. I've come across their channel and they seem like great stand-up dudes. Hopefully, you know, I was invited to be on Retro Wolf's podcast in the future, so I know that they are on there with him, and it'll be nice to formally get to meet them one day. Really like these guys, but I haven't watched enough of their standalone videos to give an honest assessment of their channel, so I'm gonna put them in the no opinion for right now. Next up, we have the Retro Rivals. They are awesome. It's a husband-wife duo. They make great stuff, great collection. They're funny as hell. They just did a Step Brothers skit, I want to say, on either YouTube Shorts or TikTok. I want to say it was YouTube Shorts. Funny as hell. Great channel. But I honestly want to give them a B because I think that they're awesome. A lot of B channels, guys. Again, if they're on this list, if you've made my list, I like you, right? I do. And that's why you don't see any D's in there. And I didn't even make like a trash or an F category, just because if I think you're trash, I'm just not going to watch you and I'm not going to put you on this list. So next up, we have a buddy of mine. We have Retro Wolf. He is alongside Marcello with GameCube Galaxy. I call them the GameCube gurus. I came across Retro Wolf's channel the first time when he sold his entire complete GameCube collection to Retro Rick, and I fell in love with his channel from there. I think he's a wholesome, super nice guy. He's a no bullshit kind of guy, tells it like it is. And I love his hunting videos at the flea markets and thrift stores and stuff like that. I love the knowledge I have learned from him when it comes to GameCube. I didn't get my GameCube until 2009 or 2010, and I wasn't super into it. I had some good games for it, and I still have my GameCube from 2009 sitting right over there hooked up, and I've been playing the hell out of it because I've learned so much from Marcello and Retro Wolf, Matt. So I love his channel. I think he's great. I think that Retro Wolf has become one of my new favorite channels to watch alongside Mort and Marcello over at GameCube Galaxy. I'm going to give Retro Wolf a solid S because I enjoy his stuff a lot. It's not all about production value for me. It does help, guys, but if it's based on how I feel. It's based on how much I want to go out of my way to watch your videos. And, you know, again, because this is my personal list. So if I really like you as a person, I like the way you talk, the way you articulate yourself, the knowledge that you bring me. And if you bring value to my day, I'm going to watch you more and you're going to be higher on this list. You could have the flashiest, best looking channel on the planet, but if I think you're boring or if I don't like you, I don't like you. Doesn't really matter. Like Keemstar has amazing quality. Fucking hate Keemstar. I think he's a fucking clown, dude. Just like H3H3, I think he's a fucking clown. So, you know, that doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter like if you have like a $50,000 camera in your fucking setup. Like, yeah, it's nice and it helps, but it's about the person for me, and Retro Wolf's the fucking man. So next up we got Retro World. The Retro World is a great channel. You know, I think that he has ways to improve his channel, but I think he does a lot of great stuff. Dude, I watched a video of his recently where he went to like a flea market and got all of these heavy hitting games for like $3 a piece. And like, as he's rummaging through the games, like I'm literally shaking watching this video, because if it was me, I would be in tears. I'd be freaking the fuck out if I found games like that at a flea market. I've never had luck like his at flea markets. But you know, he's a good channel. I watch him when he comes on. I think he's a solid C. Next up, we have a channel I've been watching for years at this point, RGT85. I think he is a great channel. He sits in front of the camera and he talks about current events with some B-roll and some gameplay footage. He talks about retro. He talks about modern. I mean, retro is in his name. He's a super nice guy. Absolutely love his channel. I found RGT through the Beat 'em Ups channel because they're all buddies and they're all friends with like Spawnwave and all those guys, the more newer retro big channels out there. So absolutely love RGT. Great channel. Definitely check him out. For me, I think RGT is a solid A. Next up, we have Retro Rick. Retro Rick I found about, I think 2 years ago at this point, where he started doing his $10 game collection. And I just found it absolutely fascinating that he, without a shadow of a doubt, proved that you can retro hunt for stuff, that retro hunting is not dead. He did it. He started it with $10, you guys, and made it happen and built an amazing collection for new collectors. And from there, I started watching all of his hunting videos and his thrift store videos, and I was blown away by how just great his videos are. And then when Riff started editing his videos, it got even better. And I love his channel. And now that he has a game store, dude, his game store is the best game store I've ever fucking seen. We have nothing like that in Northern California, except maybe Fire and Ice, like to that scale. Like his statues in his game store are mind-blowing. He seems like a super nice, chill guy. A lot of people give Rick shit because of, you know, the Whatnot stuff. Who cares? Again, I like Whatnot, so fuck them. They don't matter. You know, you get the gatekeeping assholes that are like, you're ruining the space and you're inflating prices and you're doing this and shut the fuck up and just don't watch. You know, they bitch about Pixel Game Squad and Caleb over at Phoenix Resale and Retro Rick and all these guys. It's like, shut the fuck up. You don't want to do it, then don't watch. Buying something for cheap and then selling it at market value is not inflating the market. We've talked about this, you guys, in other videos. WATA and Heritage Auction inflates the market. Places like DK Oldies inflates the market. But selling a video game you picked up at the thrift store for $3 and then selling it for $20 is not inflating the market. They're basing this off of price charting, a website which most collectors reference. So shut up. Just don't watch them then. But Rick makes good content. He really does. And I really enjoy his stuff. I think he's a solid dude. I think that his game room is badass. His game room was a big inspiration for my game room when I started watching him 2 years ago. Love his channel. For me, Retro Rick is a solid S. Absolutely love his channel. Next up, we have another legend. We have Scott the Woz. Production value, S tier. Comedy, dry, sarcastic sense of humor, S tier. Likable guy, S tier. Proves that you don't need some crazy flashy fucking game room, S tier. This guy's a legend, and he's newer, right? But he's young, and I'm so excited to see where he goes. And if you're in the retro space, you know who Scott the Woz is. You recognize that adorable face. You just do. And he's funny as fuck, and he's entertaining, and he's a fun channel, and he is one of the younger guys just killing it right now. And for me personally, Scott the Woz is an S. Next up, we have Spawnwave. Spawnwave talks about retro, he talks about modern, he talks about a lot of news. He has the Spawncast, which is an awesome podcast that I enjoy. I think Spawnwave is great. I don't, I'm not like blown away by his content, but I think he makes really good stuff. I think that he's entertaining, and I think that he informs his audience very well on what's going on in current events in gaming. And, I respect that. But for me personally, I think I give him a C. And I know people are like, what? Spawnwave's a C? I mean, he's not the first place I go to for my gaming news. But when his videos do come out, I do enjoy them. But it's not like I'm jumping through hoops to go watch his stuff. Next up, we got a guy who's been around for a long time. We got the Act Man. He's funny as fuck. I love his channel. I think that his jump cuts and his comedy is fucking A tier. Awesome channel. Love the Act Man. Just came across him not that long ago, probably about 6 months ago, 8 months ago or so. But he's been around a long time. Definitely worth checking out if you want a few laughs, and he has some really good takes. And I agree with a lot of the things he talks about in video games. So the Act Man for me is a solid A. Next up, we have a legend, you guys. We have Gerard, the completionist. He completes video games from start to finish. But he's not only that, you guys. Like, he makes awesome, really top-notch videos. He just did a video where he purchased the entire eShop for the Wii U and the 3DS and spent well over $20,000 to do so. But not just for the clicks, for the likes and the views. He did it because he really truly in his heart of hearts believes in retro video game preservation, and he donated all of those hard drives with all of those games to a retro gaming preservation like place. I don't remember what it's called, right? My buddy Jeremy from the Nostalgic Alchemist channel would slap me right now because Gerard's like his favorite channel, and he knows exactly the foundation that I'm talking about. I just don't remember the name. But not only that, but Gerard goes out of his way to really help and get indie gamers published, because indie gamers are the backbone of the gaming industry, in my opinion. There are thousands and thousands of awesome games that just never get any love, and Gerard really goes out of his way to make that happen for them, and he truly believes in it. He believes in game preservation, And he just really shows you the beauty in every kind of game there is out there. A lot of love and respect for him. Plus, he's a nice, lovable, huggable, big old teddy bear kind of guy that you just want to hang out with and be friends with. And I just love watching his stuff, man. He's just awesome to listen to. He's easy to listen to when you're driving fucking 200 miles a day to work, right? Like, just really enjoy his stuff. He's just super friendly. And it's a shame what happened with G4, man, because I really was, hoping that G4 would have done well. But, I know he was bummed out about all the shit that went down there because he was a host on there. And that's unfortunate. But Gerard, I think you're going to obviously move on to bigger and better things. And you're just killing it, dude. And in my opinion, Gerard's a legend. He deserves to be up there with guys like Metal Jesus and Pat. So lastly, we have one of my favorite channels of all time, Wood Hawker from the Beat 'em Ups channel. I love Wood. I found him years ago at this point, and I absolutely enjoy his stuff. He does talk about primarily modern stuff, a lot of Switch and Nintendo stuff, but I also know that he does talk about retro games as well, especially a lot more since he's partnered up with Bob Wolf and they've become friends over on the Nintendo podcast. I've never missed an episode. I watch every one. But one thing I respect about Wood is that he has openly with his community shared his life story, his ups and downs throughout his life. And he's very open and transparent about his mental health and his anxiety, which I suffer from really high anxiety to where it almost makes me sick to my stomach. I'm very anti-confrontational when it comes to with other people. And I have a lot of respect for people that can openly put that out there and be vulnerable, because it's not easy to do that. It is not easy to do that, you guys. And I think his production value is an S tier. His camera angles and just everything that he does, his sound quality, his lighting is S tier. He is an awesome creator, very knowledgeable, hardcore collector and gamer. And, he's a fucking diehard Zelda fan, dude. I got a Zelda tattoo. It's my favorite Nintendo franchise of all time. And I just got a lot of love and respect for Wood. And I just think that he is an S tier content creator without a doubt in my mind. So there it is, you guys. That is all 50 retro video game creators that I know of or watch. And I know there's nobody in the D category, again, because if I like you, if I watch you, if you are fucking cool enough to make my list, which I'm fucking nobody, but at least I'm somebody to somebody somewhere, you're not going to be in the D or trash category, man, because I just don't even watch or talk about those guys. And honestly, I love all of these channels in their own way. They have all in some fashion inspired me as a creator, because I watch their videos and I'm like, okay, well, I like how this camera angle looks, and I like how they did their lighting here, and I love this piece of their collection and how they're displaying it. I've learned a lot from these guys, and I have copycatted the fuck out of some of them, because I'm like, this is really awesome, this is inspiring, I love what they're doing here. And I kind of cherry pick what I like from each channel, and that's how I try to conduct myself across multiple platforms. And I still have a ways to go. I'm not even on this fucking list. Someone told me the other day, they're like, you're not even in your own thumbnail. And it's because, guys, I personally don't think I deserve to be on this list or on the thumbnail, with, amongst the creators of this caliber. I really don't. Maybe one day, I'm having fun. I just started getting really into YouTube in December. It's only been a couple months and I've enjoying the hell out of it. I've met so many amazing people and I've just loved it. But yeah, guys, I will be sharing this list after the video's been out for a few days. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Look, if you are a creator on this list, I hope I didn't hurt your feelings. Was never my intention. But I was scared to make this list, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you. After I saw the Pixel Game Squad do it a couple days ago, I was like, well, fuck, if they can do it, I can fucking do it. Right? If they got the fucking cojones to fucking do this, I'm going to do it. Because again, I'm the tier list guy. I've been doing tier lists on my podcast for literally 2 or 3 years at this point, and this is one I've never touched because I have a lot of admiration and respect for a lot of these creators. Now, guys, before we end the video, please, if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, liking the video, leaving a comment down below, and letting me know, do you agree with this list? And guys, I'm begging you, I know this is YouTube and I'm asking a lot, but be respectful, be kind. That's the kind of, you know, none of these people on here, in my opinion, are worthy of getting shit on. And I'm just asking you to just, you know, for me, show some love and just be kind, even if you don't like everybody on this list, even if you don't agree with everybody on this list. But also let me know channels that I missed, channels that I need to check out. I'm constantly looking for new ones to watch and enjoy. So without further ado, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Happy hunting.